们今天的主讲人顾朝明顾先生，我们所有大家对这一次全球金融大海啸之后何去何从，所有关心的朋友，大家晚安。我相信今天晚上很多人对1年以前顾先生在这个讲台上告诉大家，在这一场金融海啸发生之前他不断的重申美国这次房地产的问题呢，是资产负债表的问题。那么在今天这场演讲当中顾先生的题目呢，他用那个 Bubble 实验的 balance 的这个，在这一次的这个泡沫跟资产负债表这个在全球化的这个衰退的环境当中未来的经济的走向，那我想大家非常的关切。过去的这个所有的股灾也好，金融风暴也好，大概都有个局限性，这个局限性呢都有一定的范围。比方说1990年日本的资产泡沫，1997年亚洲金融风暴，这一些都有一定的局限性。这一次呢是美国把房地产泡沫透过很多的这个衍生性的金融商品不断的扩散，最后呢把这个杠杆分散，这个泡沫呢让全世界大家一起共享。这一场泡沫规模之大呢，我相信一定比日本在1990年所发生的这个泡沫呢来得要严重。面对这个调整，我想我们再度请到在这几年当中呢，他预测美国房地产泡沫最精准，而是在台湾受到大家最推崇的辜朝明先生呢，来到这次财讯月刊所主办的论坛。我相信今天这场演讲攸关大家未来财富这个所做的决策跟判断都是影响深远的一场演讲。我们希望在今天这场演讲当中呢，大家对未来如何趋吉避凶都能够找到大家所要的答案。我们以最热烈掌声欢迎辜朝明先生。
Nice to be back to this place after 1 year. When I spoke about problems on the horizon last year, I was often considered the most pessimistic of all economists. But I'm afraid that the situation has gone way beyond what I was forecasting last year. And the situation has gone worse and worse. I now see some light at the end of the tunnel, but it's just half of the light. The other half of the story is still missing. And I'll try to explain what I mean by half is covered, but the other half is still not covered. I was able to talk about some pessimistic forecasts last year because what was happening in the United States at the time was very similar to what we in Japan went through 15 years ago. And just to give you some idea of how similar the situation is to the Japanese one, I'd like you to look at this chart. This chart shows what happened to the US housing prices over the last 10, 15 years or so. And the other two lines is what happened to Japanese houses in Tokyo and Osaka. And you can see that the increase was exactly the same between Japanese situation 15 years ago and what happened to the United States. And the US prices peaked here, came down. The Japanese ones also came down 15 years earlier, 1993, and this is where we are in the United States at the moment. But in the US, we have a housing price futures market, actually listed in Chicago Mercantile Exchange. So this yellow part is the futures. And it says that house prices will continue to fall for another 2 more years, and then it will bottom here. But that's also the bottom for the Japanese house prices. And what that means is that increase will be the same, the decline will also be quite similar. And given how the two situations compare, I was able to tell you people that situation could get very, very ugly because we in Japan experienced this and then we were in recession for full 15 years. Now, I hope it won't take 15 years for the United States or the world economy to recover. But if we put in wrong policies, or even if it's the right policies but not with sufficient strength, then I'm afraid the problem can last much longer than a few years. It shows that we have some more ways to go in terms of house prices correcting, but we have another problem in the United States, which is very, very special to the United States. And that is that, I don't know exactly how it is in Taiwan, but in most countries, when you borrow a house mortgage and you cannot pay, the bank will take over the house, sell in the market, get some money, and if that money that the bank got is not enough to cover the mortgage you borrowed, the remaining sum is still the responsibility of the original borrower. So even if you decide not to pay, you are still responsible for the whole amount until the very last day. But in the United States, there's a key difference. The money was lent not to the person, but to the house. So it's a non-recourse loan in a sense that only if the borrower decides to return the key to the bank and says, you can have the house, the bank cannot go after you any longer. What that means is that when the price of the house falls, and then you borrowed this much, but the price of the house is already here, a lot of Americans will say, hey, why do I have to pay this mortgage? Why don't I just return the key, put the luggage in the car, go somewhere else? It's legally possible in the United States to do that. And this action of returning the key is called return the key. How many people are in that position today? Well, I don't want to sound too pessimistic, but there are about 30 million people in that position today. Now, this is the maximum number, assuming that all the houses were bought with a mortgage with no down payment. And there were a lot of mortgages over the last 3-4 years with no down payment. So it's in this category. Now, 30 million is a very large number because the entire subprime mortgage was only 2 million. So this 2 million mortgages started the problem. But now the problem is spreading to 30 million people who could potentially say, hell, I want to return the key. Just forget it. But if so many people return the key, those houses will come onto the market. That depresses the house value even further. And more people will say, gee, I don't want to pay this house mortgage. I will return the key. And the situation can just get worse and worse and worse. That's why the US government is very worried about this problem, in the sense that subprime is only 2 million. But people who are potentially returning the key is 30 million. 15 times larger. Now, in order to avoid us getting heart attacks, I assume that if everybody had a 10% down payment,